Welcome back to some new r/PettyRevenge stories, where people share small victories over those who wronged them. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Crosswalk Revenge. I had to run an errand at a store located in a large and busy shopping center. After parking my car, I started walking toward the crosswalk that leads to the storefront sidewalk. Just as I was about to cross, I heard a car suddenly accelerate. I looked up just in time and had to jump back to avoid getting hit. Instinctively, I reacted with a loud, "Are you serious?" The driver stopped, looked right at me, and just shrugged her shoulders while laughing. I shook my head and kept walking, but then I realized I had parked on the wrong side of the shopping center. So I did the classic walk of shame back to my car and drove to the correct side. As I was driving, I happened to see shoulder shrug lady about to cross the parking lot in the exact same way I had earlier. Now, I'm not particularly proud of this, but I may have slightly hit the accelerator to make sure she couldn't cross just yet. She jumped back, clearly annoyed, but didn't realize it was me yet. Then I stopped my car right in front of her, gave her the most exaggerated shoulder shrug, and mimicked her little smile from earlier. She actually laughed in disbelief. The next story is called Parking Spot Revenge. I was at one of the busiest malls in my city, especially crowded on Sundays with families out and about. The mall is attached to a fancy 5-star hotel, an apartment complex, a ballroom. You get the idea. And finding a parking spot is nearly impossible, especially on a Sunday. So after finishing my weekly lunch and shopping trip with my parents, we got back to the car. I had just halfway gotten into the driver's seat, hadn't even closed the door yet, when suddenly a car came around the corner and flashed its lights at me. Now keep in mind, this was an underground parking lot, so those headlights were extra bright. I was immediately irritated and mumbled something under my breath. My parents, noticing my reaction, asked what happened. I told them, "That guy just flashed his lights at me. He wants our spot." Without missing a beat, my mom responded, "Oh, absolutely not. He can wait." And so, the waiting game began. This guy was about 5 meters away, sitting there with his signal on, expecting us to leave. Meanwhile, we just relaxed in the car, taking our time. After a little while, I got out of the car and casually started walking back toward the mall. The moment he realized I wasn't leaving, he immediately started looking for another spot and drove away within seconds. Of course, I turned right back around, got into the car and actually got ready to leave. Almost instantly, another car pulled up, patiently waiting. No flashing, no pressure, just polite. We happily drove off, shared a good laugh, and that concluded our family-sanctioned Sunday dose of petty revenge. The third story is called Messy Dog Owner. One sunny afternoon, I decided to take a walk in the park. As I strolled along, I noticed a woman standing by a bench, while her dog did its business right next to it. She was completely focused on her phone, seemingly ignoring the giant sign just a few steps away that kindly reminded pet owners to clean up after their dogs, with bags provided right there. I couldn't believe someone would just leave a mess in our park, a place where people love to relax and enjoy the grass. I walked over, grabbed one of the provided bags, picked up the mess, and gently dropped it right at her feet. "Looks like you left something behind," I said with a smile. Her look of confusion quickly turned into embarrassment. She couldn't even make eye contact. Feeling oddly satisfied, I continued my walk. Just as I was leaving, I heard her mumbling something under her breath. I couldn't resist adding, "If you had just cleaned up after your dog, we wouldn't have this problem." Let's just say my sense of park justice might be a little too well calibrated. The next story is called Shopping Cart Revenge. I was picking up my newly rescued cat from his surgery. The surgery center is right next to our large grocery store, so naturally there were plenty of people and shopping carts around. As I was pulling into our parking spot, our mom sent her kid to place her shopping cart, directly in the spot I was literally turning into. The cart return was right behind her car. Her child quickly ran back to buckle up, so I hopped out of my car and grabbed the cart. She smiled at me, probably thinking I was doing her a favor. Instead, I wheeled the cart right behind her car, so she couldn't back out. I parked, and as I was walking toward the vet's office to pick up my little guy, I heard her get out of her car and yell something unpleasant. I didn't turn around, but I did call back. If you teach your kid to return things where they belong, you wouldn't have this problem. The last story is called Revenge on Coworker. This happened a few years ago. A guy at work made me really upset. I overheard him saying some not so nice things about me. So I got a little curious and decided to do some digging online. I ended up finding a court record about a car repossession and an unpaid balance of around $5,000. The case was listed on a county court site. I also found the law firm handling it, so I used their Contact Us page, referenced their own case number, and provided them with his updated address and phone number. Not long after, he started delivering pizzas on the site. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.